Now, is there simmering anger among those grappling with this is the legacy of colonialism, Gargi?
That's right. Now, Charles is king, but is his realm set to shrink? Parmeshwar reports.
The Queen's death has been marked throughout the Commonwealth with a period of official mourning. But not far below the surface lies a simmering anger among those grappling with the legacy of colonialism. Throughout Queen Elizabeth II's reign, she built and maintained relations throughout the Commonwealth, the club of mostly former British colonies, and travelled widely within it. But when her death was announced last week and the 56 countries announced their own periods of national mourning, it was far from being universally observed. Reflecting on the change in sovereign, New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, who is in the UK for the state funeral, said, "The transition from Queen to King will not be jarring for New Zealand," but suggested she still believes the country is likely to become a republic in her lifetime, but said bonds will remain between Commonwealth nations even as relationships with the UK evolve. Pressed on how and when this might happen, she said, "We have complex arrangements, the Treaty of Waitangi, a very important founding document for New Zealand." Antigua and Barbuda became the first of the 14 remaining realms now ruled over by King Charles to openly float the idea of replacing the British monarch as its head of state. In Kenya, there's been a mixed reaction to the Queen's passing. While President Kenyatta honoured her as a towering icon in the streets and online, there was anger at a legacy many Kenyans see as brutal and filled with atrocities that have never been properly investigated. In Canada, a similar story emerges of official mourning paired with disdain among indigenous communities. Many point to treaties with the Crown that their ancestors signed in good faith and which they believe were rendered worthless by the actions of generations of British rule embodied by the monarch. Some Commonwealth countries are already taking action. Jamaica has signalled it may soon follow Barbados in ditching royal rule. A poll taken in August before the Queen's death showed that 56% of Jamaicans are in favour of removing the British monarch as their head of state. While the legacy of British colonial rule casts a long shadow, many would say a reckoning with it is well underway. In some quarters, there are doubts about the role a distant monarch should play in the 21st century. Earlier this year as well, some Commonwealth leaders were quick to express unease at a summit in Rwanda about the passage of leadership of the 56-nation club from Queen Elizabeth to King Charles. Parmeshwar for NDTV.